Hi everyone, welcome to your Galactic Thursday message where we tune into the galactics and receive some messages from the stars. I'm Jeanette Biro. I'm a medium and a cosmic channeler, and let's dive in. So after the message that you all saw yesterday, there was just so much more to come through. So I can't even tell you how powerful the energy is coming into this weekend, and there's something really specific too, and I don't know what it is about. I believe it's Saturday, January 11th. January 11th, 111. There's a really big energy and a crescendo point is what Spirit is saying. There's something about January 11th. I'm going to see if the Galactics are going to share anything on that specific, but I'm also going to tune into them. So again, Thursdays is where I tune into the galactic beings and see what's happening from their perspective to see what they can share for us on in our world. So I'm just going to tune in and see who's there. So just hold on. Okay, so this is my council coming through, the Galactic Council. Shaham is there as well. And it's really interesting. He's showing me an eyeball, and it's very clear and looking around, and he's saying, I'm showing you this because it's like eyes wide open. Disclosure and exposure. Disclosure and exposure. So I don't it's like the floodgates are about to be opened, and discernment is so important. Discernment is so important. Okay, because there's so much twisting of false narratives to make our evolution seem scary and fear-based. However, as we come closer to true disclosure, he's saying, right now we're thinking disclosure means ET disclosure and disclosure of other races and beings. And he's like, truly, disclosure is actually showing all the levels in which there have been deception in our world right now. And so what's really interesting with this is he's like, don't just think that it's only in this direction in which things are being exposed. That is the beginning, and it is going to open up so much more. Hello, I have a little kitten here to help. It's going to open so much more, and there's a value in being aware of it so that you are not taken back. And Spirit often will come through and talk about how, bringing us insights, giving us heads up on things can be so helpful. And then at the same time, they really also want to stand back and let us experience, right? He's saying this is one of those situations where being given the heads up of the magnitude that this whole disclosure and exposure, like the magnitude it actually reaches, is so much. It's so worth it giving us a heads up so that we're not caught off guard, because there is an intent within that from the lower levels to catch us off guard, to trick us into fear and all that kind of stuff. And he's like, so much of humanity is so far beyond fear now. You are all too smart, too aware, too awakened to be steeped in fear. It's now about giving you the knowledge, right? And so he's saying, keep your eyes on the skies to discern what it is you are seeing or what is being seen. As well, when you listen to what is being expressed, listen through the ears of the heart and read both above and below the lines, which is interesting. It's kind of like, don't take everything at face value. He's saying your discernment is coming online so much more, and it could so very well be connected into the messages yesterday, how we have this like whole light beam energy kind of like awakening in our bodies. That helps us with our discernment in what's coming forward. So it's like, listen beyond simply the words. See beyond simply the sight. Bring in your intuition and your body to feel into the experiences of it. Because it's not meant to be fear-inducing, it's meant to be freedom-giving. Because we're breaking these barriers of being in the dark, essentially. Okay, I just want to see what else he has to say. He's also saying pay attention to the occurrences in threes. So I'm not sure if there's something with the disclosure aspect that there's like a series of 3 events or 3 specific things. Because he's saying there is a desire on one level, the lower level, to have January be a very big whirly start to the year to throw us off kilter of our empowerment this year. He's like, but if you can see that and know that that's coming, then the world doesn't affect you. It's the same way as if you're standing in the shoreline, in the water a little bit. If you see a wave is coming, you brace yourself for it and you move through it. If you don't see it coming, it can easily knock you off your feet. So it's about the awareness. And he's saying that's also why the feminine aspect of my counsel yesterday was saying ground into Gaia, because grounding into Gaia is kind of like resetting your energetic stance, right? So that you can take these waves of energy, because this year, he's like month by month, there will be a new wave of something, and it's about your awareness of the wave coming in. When you have the awareness of the wave coming in, you won't be taken over by it. And he keeps saying, he's like, it's so close. You are all so close to this massive, it's almost like a freedom of information point. Again, that's where I keep being shown this like wide spectrum. We think it's just ET disclosure, but disclosure actually means this door is being pushed open way wider, and we will be able to see so many more things. And those so many more things is not just about pointing the finger at like, hey, you lied. It's not that. It's actually about, hey, we have access to this information. It almost reminds me of like when we got the internet, right? And all of a sudden, our capacity to find information was so much wider. It's that same idea. It's coming into the full reality. Seeing under the surface, seeing what's been hidden. And he's like, this is why humanity is at such a critical point right now, because it's at this point of this gateway and this door opening, seeing beyond, which is again why he's saying read above and below what is being written. And it doesn't mean read above and below in like deep conspiracy type energy. It's more resonant energy for you, right? So when someone's talking, does that feel right to me? Does it feel like that's a high vibratory statement, or does that feel like it's a low vibratory statement? And again, that's for you to discern. And it's your perceived reality that dictates what it means for you, right? But this transformation piece, this opening up, is so pivotal right now to start off with a bang right now. I'm so curious what actually unfolds or what is connected to the energy of January 11th. And I keep asking him and I'm not being shown something, so it bugs me when they do that in a sense, but there's something to the energy. Okay, so he's like, fair. There's something to the energy on Saturday that has to do with alignment. Oh, and it's a series of threes. Interesting, it's a 3 ones, right? January 1, 11th, there's 111. There's an alignment of the threes that allows for something to transform in that way. Again, I think it has to do with disclosure in some form, something more. So I guess we'll have to see on Saturday. Anyways, very interesting disclosure and exposure, a widening of access to the true information. It's going to be a very exciting year, I can tell you that. Big changes. Your empowerment or your agitation is your choice, like Spirit says. So anyways, I will leave that with all of you for now. Thank you so much as always for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow. Oh yeah, and definitely check out Cosmic Consciousness if you want to hear about some secret societies and how there is a downfall occurring in that. Then join me, Cosmic Consciousness. You can sign up at avalonspirit.com.